They started dragging me towards a tree, got me pinned down, and started pounding on my body. It was, you could feel the anger and the intent to try to hurt me.
Guys, get the f out of here! Let him go! Get your phones out here and go! Shake your head at me and go! Get the f out of here!
In disbelief is how Vox Booker says he felt when men were seen holding him against his will, shouting white power and other racial slurs.
You nappy-headed. What do you want to call me? About this? You with your 5 white friends?
Booker says he and some friends went to watch the lunar eclipse on the 4th of July at Lake Monroe. A group of men informed them the route they were taking to get to the public access beach was on private property. But then things got hostile, leaving Booker with a minor concussion, abrasions, and patches of hair ripped out. What saved his life, he says, were his friends along with bystanders that heard the commotion and demanded the attackers let him go, refusing to leave. Booker called the police and the Department of Natural Resources came, but no arrests were made at the scene. The Bloomington city clerk calling for this to be investigated and charges made.
My heart is breaking for our town. This is Bloomington. And I know people like to say that things like that don't happen in Bloomington. They do. They happen a lot.
All right, there's an investigation ongoing, but what more do you need to find out outside of the videos that recorded a lot of this? Sergeant Cheryl Dorsey, let me start with you. What more do you need here?
Nothing. Listen, they certainly had probable cause to believe that what was occurring, what had been alleged to have occurred. I'm sure when whoever was investigating initially arrived, that the folks that were having this young man pinned to a tree were probably still amped up and talking crazy. And so once you take a look at the video, you've got witness statements independent of his own. What more do you need? There was sufficient probable cause to effect an arrest, and why one has not been made as of this date is very troubling and problematic for me.
Lieutenant Colonel Adam Lee, one of the other things we've heard here is that this was allegedly private property. Does that even matter? Does that come into the mix in this investigation?
Absolutely not. I don't see any markings that would have indicated to those individuals that they were on private property. The case is being investigated by the Park Service or something like that. I doubt very seriously if they have the experience that it takes to deal with it like this. I've been hearing that the FBI has gotten involved, so that's a good sign. Like Sarge said, they should have been able to make an arrest immediately based on this video. There was no need to have to investigate further to see what was going on. It was clear that these individuals were the aggressors. They were probably under the influence of alcohol, I would suspect. And so it's just a matter of rounding them up at this point. And it's a good thing that FBI has gotten involved.
Sergeant Dorsey, the other part of this is that there were other people, third parties who weren't connected to either party who were there. It would seem to me, videos, third-party people that are there, you put 1 and 1 together, it equals 2.
Absolutely. And listen, under any other circumstance, and I've certainly been involved in similar situations where you have a victim of a crime and who points to a suspect, there he is, go get him. And officers can do a field identification right then and there and gather up everyone who was involved. And like we know, it's a very low threshold, probable cause, reasonable, suspicion to believe that a crime has occurred, and double that with independent witnesses. So it's not a he said, she said, but understand where we are. And so I hope that the mayor, I heard him speak a couple of days ago, that he's sincere in wanting to get to the bottom of this. But this should have been dealt with swiftly and definitively then and there.